Evelyn's here again, and guess what? Today we're going to make potato soup. This is so yummy, so good, that you're going to want to make it fairly often. But before we start actually doing the soup, I'd like to do a rundown of what you need to make this soup. I'm going to go through my tools. I have an immersion blender. You can use what do I want to call it? Spinner, vegetable puree. You can use that. I like this. You always need that. Sharp knife used to fit in there better. Now, the one thing I want to say about this knife, this is a chef's knife, and this is not expensive. I got this at one of the local stores, and it's a knife sharpener. Now, I'm going to tell you, in all true honesty, the sharper you keep your knives, the less likely you are to hurt yourself. It takes minutes just pulling it through, pulling it through, pulling it through. Now that knife is nice and sharp, and all I'm going to do is just wipe off any extra metal that might have been on that. Putting him away. Paring knife. Same thing. Let's keep these things sharp and we stay safe. Okay. Peeler. This bench scraper. I don't know if you have one, but I highly recommend you get one. This is for scooping things off the bench, scooping things off your cutting board, getting them off your cutting board, into your bowls. They don't go all over the table, they just stay contained. I highly recommend this. Got this at one of the local stores. None of these things are terribly expensive, but you need them. I need them. We're gonna make soup. We need a ladle. Only my forks for testing to see if the potatoes are done. So, let's start. These guys, as good as they are, they can be tricky to peel. This soup is interchangeable with butternut squash soup. Again, you have something that's really hard to peel, and you have to peel it before you can cook it. So, I'll show you a trick. Holding the knife, my fingers pinch it there. I have control of the knife. It's not going to wobble around on me. Ready? You need some muscles. And bigger hands. Wouldn't hurt a thing. Okay, so now I've got this cut. If I take one piece off, that's a starting point. Now I can peel it. See how easy that is? Even I can do this. I'm going to do one. It won't take too long. Now we're getting into a section that it doesn't want to. Let's stay safe. Because it's wobbly. I have another section to start from. Whoops, that one flying. We'll have to look for that one. All right, there's a little something I don't care for. We'll take that off. All right, we're almost done. It's all cleaned up. bench scraper. That didn't take long. You don't want to cut them too big. About that size. Put it on the flat side. You're always working on the flat side. My fingers are in control of my knife. Don't cut your bent. Yeah. I'm wired for sound here. Love this thing. So all we're going to do is cut some medium-sized pieces. Nothing fantastic. Nothing difficult about this. Pretty much the smaller you cut it, the faster it cooks. That one went on the floor. It'll stay there. Water. Okay. That's it. That's as hard as that was to peel those potatoes. Now you're going to cook them, boil them, probably around 15 minutes, if that long. Checking. See if you can get that through. Once they've boiled, you're going to drain them. Okay? None of this is tricky. All right. Now we're going to start on the base for our soup. This is what we need. Our other things we have. Olive oil. Cumin. I hope you like cumin because it goes in this soup and it is so tasty. Salt and pepper. And if you really want to be adventurous, we can put some red crushed pepper flakes. I know some of you guys really like spicy food. Not me so much, but that's not that I wouldn't try a few in there. I won't do it today, but it's here. To add to it, maybe some croutons. These are electives. And some yogurt, but I'll bring all of that in later. Right now, get stuff out of the way. We're done with this. We want some heat. Now, I don't know how much that is. Several tablespoons, maybe? Because all we're going to saute in that is the onions. Onions, fingers on the knife. You've got a good hold of it. Flat of your hand, let's not cut off any fingers. I do not want to be responsible for your fingers. Because I'm not very good at this. You may have the leverage to do it better than this, but this works for me. Woohoo! Now the best part, it looks so cool. Oh, these nice little choppy onions. Bench press. Into the pan. See, they want to run away. No, not allowed. Okay, and I have some more that I cut, because I didn't figure you wanted to spend your day watching me cut onions. All right, all we're going to do with that is saute the onions. Now, I don't know how many cooking shows you watch or don't watch, but one of the things that they, whoops, wrong guy. One of the things they recommend is you bloom, which means saute them, that you bloom your spices. I'm looking for, there they are. Has stuff in my way. 2 teaspoons of cumin. This stuff tastes so good. It adds such an interesting flavor to this. So that's a little bit rounded teaspoon, but it's doable. So we'll do 1 and 2. I can smell it already. Now, all I'm going to do is cook this and let it simmer so I can cook my onions some. All right, meanwhile, these potatoes are boiling away and they're done. What are we going to do with them? Oh, we're going to drain them. Drain the water off of them. We don't need the water on them for our soup. Okay? I can hear it sizzling. Let's do some more. Now, I use bought chicken broth. Your choice of brand. If you want to do no sodium, fine. I don't have a problem with salt, so I just use what I can find. The recipe is going to call for, let me find it. One and a half cups of chicken broth. I did look up for one of these holds 4 cups. If you use these big sweet potatoes, you could almost use all of this. But you'll see as we're filling it up, because you want it to cover and be a little loose because you're going to puree it, so you need it to be a little loose. So choose your chicken stock that you want to use. Oh, you always give them a shake. I don't know what, if anything, would be on the bottom, but I'd like them to be fresh. Saute, saute, saute. Cooking. I'd like to have them cook some more. Doesn't look too tricky yet, does it? I didn't think so. Yes, I know. I brought my black quilting gloves in case I needed gloves. I work better without them. But as 99.9% of this is coming home with me, I don't think I needed gloves. You can get in touch with ONTV if there is some kind of a soup that you would like us to try and make for you. I thought down the line I would try and do homemade spaghetti sauce. I would like to make a minestrone, show you how to make a minestrone. What else did I have in mind? Oh, I have a recipe for a leek and blue cheese soup that's to die for. It is so good. So if you like blue cheese, you're going to love this one. And I do one I call refrigerator soup, which is pretty much this for a basis, and then whatever else you've got chopped up and put in it. It makes a pretty tasty soup. So let's see how our sauteing is doing. This is going to be pureed, so it does not have to be completely down to nothing. So in the interest of time, I cooked these potatoes yesterday. Yum. So it would be as if I drained them and they were hot, and now I'm just putting them in the pot. This is what we've got. Get out of the way. It'll probably melt on me. All right, now to this, let's use two just in case. I don't want to melt anything. We're going to add, and I don't know how you can, well, I think I can do it. We're adding broth to cover. Despite it says 3.5 cups. Or 2.5 cups, whatever it said. I think you're getting the idea of how easy this is. All right. I think I could have some more. I still have a fair amount in here, but I think that's plenty. Now I want this to heat up. So we just want that to come to temp. And we're ready. And it's done. All we have to do now is serve it. Now, we need to puree it. This Immersion blender is quite a wonder. I really do like having this in my kitchen. But I want that soup to come to temp. Okay. We'll take care of that later. What else can I tell you about the soups? I did say to get in touch with the studio if there was something particular that you, kind of soup that you would like to learn to make. I met a very lovely lady a little bit ago that said she makes a to die for lemon rice soup. I have never had it, but I have been asked to do it here to show you how to do it. And I've asked her to come and show us how to make the lemon rice soup. So that will be at another time. I know we have just many varieties. Speaking to people along the line, everybody has their favorite soups. Everybody has their way of making their soup, whether they add pasta to it or they add beans to it. One of my favorites, homemade bean soup. It's something I really enjoy. Being a non-meat person, that is for the exception of bacon. But ordinarily I don't eat meat. I bought smoke. You can buy smoke in these kind of jars, and you add a teaspoon or so. You don't need much, and you can add that to the soups, and you have that smoky bacon flavor in your soup. Let's see, what other clues can I give you? Well, when we do the leeks, I'll show you how to clean those. Let's see how we're doing back here. And you know what I forgot to bring? A spoon. Let's see if I can find one. Voila! All I'm doing is testing to see if it's warmed up enough. Ooh, yum. Could be warmer. So we'll just let that warm up for a bit. But it continued to warm. I could show you still through here the blending of it, because it could be blended and then continued to heat. None of this is rocket science. Let's see if I can do this without strangling myself. Hate these things. I never know which end. Mussels. Okay, say it's heated through. This has just a little push button right here. Oh, is that so nice and noisy? Don't you just love it? Yes. Apron. I did bring one, but I didn't put it on. And this is splashy. You can do this in a food processor, and if you do it in a food processor, because it's hot, you know, you start off with just maybe a cup and process that because it will come up through the top of your processor. Pour that back in your pan or in a bowl, and then add the next cup or two and process it so that you don't have it all over your kitchen ceiling. Probably color doesn't go. I'm chasing potatoes around in here, trying to match it. Now you can see, there's a couple in there, but not bad. How thick that got. And that's thickened from the potatoes. It's at this point, to your taste, salt and pepper. I don't know how much salt and or pepper you're allowed, so you might want to wait until you get it into your bowl and then try it. Tasting is such the hard part of the job. For me, it needs salt and pepper. Oh man, that's good stuff. I hope you try it. I think it's a good soup. I don't think it's difficult to make. I might suggest you wear an apron. But other than that, come back another time. We'll make another soup. Thank you for watching, and God bless all of you. Bye.